Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this is a highly requested video for you today. I get asked a lot about nail art foil adhesives and which are the best ones to use, the cheaper ones, the more expensive ones. So I've got around 6 today that I'm going to be testing out. A couple are on the more expensive side and the others are definitely more of your cheaper budget options. So I will leave all links to them in the description box below. So I'm going to be testing out exactly the same foils for all of them, so it means it's fair. So I've got a rose gold hollow, I've got a pink hollow laser, and then I've got a patterned one just to see how that gets on with the adhesives, and then I've got one with a clear backing, as sometimes these can be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to be working on ELSA, my new silicone hand. I will be doing an in-depth review video on this hand shortly, so stay tuned for that. So I've painted the tips with black gel polish and then removed the inhibition layer, and I chose black just so I can see when the adhesive goes clear. So I'm starting out with my go-to foil adhesive. This is from the Edge. It's 15 mils and it's £3.54 at the time of making this video. And this goes on like a milky blue colour, and then it will dry clear when it's ready. So this one just glides on, really nice to apply, and it does dry really quickly. So it does go clear when it's ready. So this is it ready now, all nice and sticky. So I'm going to go in with the first foil, which is the rose gold hollow laser, and I just generally stick it down and then just initially press it with my finger, so the heat from my finger helps it a little bit to stick to the nail, and this one had no problem with sticking at all. Now this rose gold one is sometimes a little hard to apply, which is why I chose it, but with this one it just peeled away effortlessly and left a really nice full coverage on there. So on to the pink one. This is one of the easier ones, which is again why I chose this one, just to get a contrast of how they apply, and as you can see it just pretty much stuck straight away and pulled off really easily. And I just wanted to quickly say I haven't prepared any of these foils. You can sometimes remove the backing with some alcohol, but I haven't prepared any of these. These are just straight onto the nail. So this is the patterned one. Sometimes patterned ones are a little bit tricky, but again this had no problems with this one. And then onto the clear backing. Sometimes these can be a little bit stiff, and I think people struggle with these ones the most, but this just transferred effortlessly again. So the Edge definitely gets a thumbs up from me. It is a little bit more expensive, but definitely worth paying to get the results that you want. So next one is from the Rose Lips store on AliExpress. It's 15 mils and this was £1.21. So this smelt a bit like the glue that you used at primary school, and I was a bit concerned about the brush strokes in it. I didn't know if they were going to dry like that as well, and then it would sort of make the foil bumpy, but it actually didn't. It wasn't too bad, and it didn't take too long to dry either. So again, that one goes clear, so you know when it's ready. So starting again with the rose gold. It felt like it was transferring okay until I went to peel it off, and it really resisted me pulling it off. It just didn't want to come off at all. And then when I did pull it off, it was really gummy, and I just didn't like this one at all. So onto the easiest foil, the pink hollow laser, and it actually didn't have any problems with this one. It didn't resist pulling or anything, so that transferred really nicely. Onto the slightly more tricky patterned one, and this went the same way as the rose gold one actually, so it felt like it was transferring until I went to pull it off, and again it just went gummy and definitely missed spots. Like you can see me trying to pull it there and it just really doesn't want to come off at all. I really had to yank this, so you know, which led to missing spots, and the foil just didn't look nice at all. It just looked really gummy on there. And then onto the one with clear backing, and this is where I think I could see the brush strokes, you know, where it had dried with the brush strokes, because when I removed this it did look a little bit streaky on the flower and a little bit bumpy. So next one was from Show the Beauty store on AliExpress, and this was 76p, and I think that was 15 mils. I don't think it said in the description, but I think that was 15 mils. And this had a very similar smell to the previous one, but was a little bit more watery, so went on a little bit nicer and a little bit thinner, but again I was still a little bit worried about the brush strokes. So this one again dries clear, and I'm going in with the trickier rose gold one again. Now this was obviously 76 pence, so I think I had a preconception that this was gonna fail on me, and with this one again it went really gummy, did not want to come off at all, it just wasn't releasing from the backing, and it really didn't look very nice. Back to the easy pink one, and none of the adhesives have problems with this foil actually, it came away very easily. And then the trickier patterned one definitely went the same way as the rose gold one, not as bad, but it really did resist the pulling off again. And then oddly enough it didn't have any problems with the clear backing one. So next one was from Fernanda boutique store. This was £1.14 for 15 mils, and this was very similar to foil number 2 in the same packaging, but I actually found that this was a bit thicker to apply and it didn't smell as bad as the other one. So again, it goes clear when it's ready. Went in with the rose gold, and I was thinking at this point, could this be any worse? I was thinking, please let there be a good foil adhesive, a cheap one out there, but I really don't think I found one, because again, this just did not want to come off and it just looked awful. Let's look how many missing spots there are on there. So onto the pink one, and I expected this to be good because this obviously is the easiest foil out of the lot, and yes, this peeled away very easily. Then onto the patterned one, and oh my goodness, this came out absolutely awful. And then onto the clear one, it did stick, but there was a little bit of a missing spot in the top corner. So next one was from Nails Lover store. This was 94p for 5 mils, and I didn't like this one from the start purely because the brush was stuck together and it was really stiff. So in turn, this made it really difficult to control the amount of product that I was putting on, because I think this was going on too thick, and it was actually, the nail was repelling the adhesive. It was just not going on nice at all. So because of the thickness possibly of the product, it did take ages to dry and go clear. And when I did go in with this rose gold one, oh, it was just like disaster pretty much. It just looked horrendous. And I had to pull it that hard, it actually pulled the nail tip from the canal where the nail tips push into. And this one didn't really have any problems with the pink, same as any of the others. Then the patterned one came away a little bit easier than the rose gold, but still left like gummy patches on the nail. And then didn't have too much problems with the clear backed foil, but it did leave a slight gummy residue layer. So final one is from Essential Nails. It's £3.70 for 15mm, so this is the expensive one, but I can see why this is the most expensive one. This just glided on so nicely. It delivered the right amount of product, and this was a little bit bluer than the first one, the edge. So really easy to tell when it will be going clear. And yeah, it just went on really nicely, this one, and took no time at all to dry. So it tackled the rose gold foil brilliantly, and I didn't feel any pulling or tugging when I was trying to pull the backing off. It came away so easy. And then the pink backing came away literally in seconds. There was a little bit there that was my fault, I missed that. But I could go in and patch that up, whereas with the gummy ones, you just couldn't patch those spaces up at all. No problems at all with the patterned one either. You can actually see it coming away around the edges with hardly any pressure. And then with the clear backed one, it almost popped off before I had a chance to transfer all of the image. It just came away so effortlessly. So these are all the foils that I just did, and I think you know what I'm going to say. This is definitely hands down my favourite. This is my new go-to one now. So I actually prefer it over the edge, if I'm going to be honest. So if you can find one with that blue milky hue to it, I think you're guaranteed a good adhesion. I didn't rate the glue smelling white ones at all, but I will leave all links for everything in the description box below. So I really hope you found this useful, guys, and to those who requested it, thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.